owners, whatever you may be. First of all, I want to honor all of you for taking time out of your day. I know this is a global call. We have several different people at different time zones, so thank you for taking time out of your day to be here. We're going to jump right into it. I am Sydney Lish. I am from San Diego, California, and I started with Isagenix nearly 3 years ago at the age of just 22 years old. I was already, back before I started, I was already completely burnt out. I was a kinesiology student. I was working multiple jobs. I was also a self-trained bodybuilder. I was a sponsored athlete, an online health coach, and I was introduced to the leverage model and residual income that's available with Isagenix that you're all about to see today. And it completely changed my entire belief system around how I could create income and a legacy and wealth for myself. And I jumped in almost immediately, really seeing how this could benefit not only my clients, expediting their results with simplicity and less time cooking and shopping and prepping and grocery shopping, if that's even still going to be a thing after all of this. And I saw how it could really help me save time making meal plans for them, as well as really making the impact that I wanted to make in people's lives financially and physically. And I was introduced to two amazing individuals who took me in and mentored me, and have taught myself, along with about 50,000 other individuals, some of which you're going to hear from today, how to leverage a very, very simple system to create multiple 6 and 7 figures with this company. So I've been so blessed to not only have grown more than I ever would have thought possible, but I've also been a part of an awesome community. I've created a 6-figure income at the age of 24 years old. And it's been all truly by the guidance of Zach and Eden Slobin, who 7 years ago, not even 7 years ago, were able to leave their corporate America jobs, run to the top of the company, and make a massive wave in this company, but more importantly, this industry as a whole. And, they're top income earners. They've made millions and millions of dollars with Isagenix. They're international keynote speakers. They're part of the field advisory board, which really, pairs the associates with the corporate staff, where they can be a voice for the associates. However, it's not all the accolades that really make me respect these two individuals. What I love most about these two is their true authenticity, their passion to help others win, their ability to hold space and empower others in really trying times. And with a vision they have that is just so large, it's really able to hold all of ours within it. And I know everyone on this call can agree. That is something so incredibly rare and so extremely incredible to be a part of. And there are no two better people than Zach and Eden Slobin to paint a picture of what's really possible with the vehicle of Isagenix for you.
We're muted.
Now we're unmuted.
Oh, you mute. I see what we did.
We good?
Yeah, when you mute on that side, it also mutes us over here.
Got it. Don't worry, everybody, we're professionals, and just know that you do not have to be technologically savvy to make a lot of money, but you do have to be willing to put in the work. This is a legitimate business. It's a legitimate business opportunity. Your results are going to come down to the same way the results come in the gym, right? We know this is for fitness professionals, so I can't just stare at the gym and hope that I get results. I got to actually lift the weights, eat the food, drink the water. That's all part of it. We first want to open by saying, thanks for taking your time to be with us today. We recognize that many of you woke up to news within the last month to 2 months that radically shifted the way that you have to do business. For so many of us, the world changed like that. And we really feel grateful and honored that you'd be willing to take some time with us, because what we know as fitness and wellness professionals, that you're constantly being bombarded with different opportunities, different ideas, different suggestions. And oftentimes, more often than not, those are conflicting with whatever what your value proposition is, or what your value add is, or how it is that you want to serve your customers, or what you see yourselves doing. But also, when change comes, we've got to be willing to evolve with that change. And so what we just ask is, obviously you have an open enough mind to be on here. We're just going to ask that you stay open for the duration of what we share. We're going to ask you to stay open because what we're going to share has the power to impact your ways in which right now you probably can't really imagine. So no matter what you think you've seen before, or what you think you've heard before, type in the chat box, how many of you are willing just to stay open-minded? The same way that if I were to come into your gym or your fitness studio or meet you at a park for a boot camp or whatever you are a practitioner of, the same way that you would ask me to stay open-minded to your modality of training, your modality of exercise science, your modality of bodybuilding or of eating or whatever may be. The same way you would ask me to stay open-minded to you, we're going to ask that you stay open-minded to us until we're all through. So with that being said, let's just dive right into it and hopefully provide you all some value and some real understanding of why this is an incredibly viable opportunity specifically for you as a fitness professional.
So why don't we kick it off sharing a little bit about our background and how we got into this in the first place. Our journey with Isagenix started 7 years ago, and it had started originally with Zach's product experience. He had burned 20 pounds of fat, went down 3 jean sizes, and went from 15% body fat to 8.5% body fat in about 60 days. And that was when we met, full washboard abs and all. I just wanted to know what he used for his nutrition because I had been a wellness junkie forever, but I had been struggling to get back to ideal fitness following an ACL tear and subsequent surgery. And so Zach shared the Isagenix products with me. That now when I say that I'm a wellness junkie, I forever have been the person inside of my social circle where people are sometimes embarrassed to be at dinner with me because of all of the questions I ask around the sourcing of the ingredients. Where do the animals come from? Did they have friends? Just like that Portlandia chicken episode, like I'm that person, we're that obnoxious couple. We're very, very careful about every single thing that we put in our bodies. And so with Isagenix, it was no different. I did my research. I was absolutely blown away by the science behind the products, the cleanliness of the ingredients. We're going to get more into that a little bit later in this hour. But here are the results. I put the products in my body, and while nothing else changed except incorporating this nutrition into an already healthy lifestyle, I was able to release 12 pounds of fat, 25 inches over my whole body, and I went down 2 dress sizes in just 30 days. More than anything that I just so appreciated was the increased mental clarity, the ability to focus, waking up feeling rested, being able to recover faster after my workouts. And what I realized was that Isagenix was delivering these systems that were aligned with my food philosophy to people's doorsteps all over the world that came with instructions. And I saw a massive opportunity to impact the people in my life who I loved who were struggling, but I also saw a huge opportunity to leverage this as a model so that I can create more freedom for myself. At the time, I was earning 6 figures working in corporate, and I was just really desperate to pivot out of that. Fast forward 7 years, here we are. To say that this has been dramatically life-changing would be an understatement. So I'd love to ask of you, what was your original end game? Why did you get into the fitness space in the first place? What was it that you were looking to accomplish? And this is a really interactive conversation, so we'd love for you to put, jot into the chat box, like, what was it for you? Was it your love of fitness? Was it your desire to impact people? Was it a desire to share nutrition and healthy lifestyle tips with people? Was it a way to be your own boss and to feel like you had freedom to work for yourself, to own your own time, to serve more people, to fulfill on your sense of purpose? Like, what was it for you? I see a lot of great answers coming through the chat box. A lot of people doing this for passion, desire to help others, for longevity, wanting to live for as long as you can. All really wonderful reasons.
And ultimately what we know is that so many people in the fitness space, and some of you said this, right, was the autonomy, right? The ability to make your own hours, work for yourself, right? Create your own schedule, not have to submit to a boss, right? Things of that nature. How many of you, type in the chat box, also got into the business of fitness because you're like me and you're psychologically unemployable? You don't like working for people. You don't like the idea of working for people. Well, you're not alone. However, you might find yourself on the wrong side of what is called the cash flow quadrant. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the cash flow quadrant, this is something that was written in a book by a man named Robert Kiyosaki in a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm just going to keep it very, very simple. The people on the left-hand side of the quadrant, that makes up about 95% of the population. They control about 5% of the wealth. The people on the right-hand side of the quadrant, They have about 5% of the population. They control 95% of the wealth. All of us that are looking to get over to the right side of the quadrant, the question is, how do we do it? See, right now, if you're a personal trainer, for example, and you work for a corporate gym, as you know, obviously you're employed by that gym. They determine your hours, they determine your commissions, they determine essentially everything about your practice. If you are a personal trainer, for example, that has your own clientele, right, outside of a corporate structure, maybe you rent space, you're still self-employed, right? So you don't have a ton of leverage. Maybe you find yourself being, the president, the CEO, the marketing director, the janitor, and the administrative assistant all at the same time. But what happens on the right-hand side, and maybe some of you are gym owners and you see yourself already being on the right-hand side because you own a system and people work for you. But what's one of the challenges with having employees? What's one of the challenges with having private practice right now? Obviously, we've all been inhibited in some way, shape, or form of our ability to do business inside of a retail space. The other thing that we're going to have to evaluate as retail business owners for you as gym owners is, realistically speaking, how long is it going to take before people are willing to come back and integrate into society? How long until people are going to feel comfortable going into a gym setting? Not to say people aren't going to come back into fitness. Of course they are. I can't wait to get back to my gym. But we also know that you're going to have to look at costs. You're going to have to look at how many trainers can I bring back on to meet the demand of what's going to be at first most likely a somewhat cautious customer base coming back into the gym. So in that way, perhaps your business ownership is being affected. And we're going to talk about things like virtual training and things like that. So when you're a business owner, you're looking to create leverage, have a system, which we'll talk more about later on, and then you want to take your money and get your money working for you, making more money. That's the basic foundation of the cash flow quadrant. So what are some of your options right now? What are some of your options? Well, you could try and become a sponsored athlete. Perhaps you already are a sponsored athlete. But here's one of the challenges with being a sponsored athlete, and perhaps you're already aware of this. One big challenge with being a sponsored athlete is you're really looking at a affiliate marketing one-time sales model. You don't have access to something called geometric progression, which we're going to teach you about a little bit later on. You don't have the ability to get into networks of people, and you really only have the ability to get paid on your own network. So that's one challenge. Another challenge is, as a sponsored athlete, believe it or not, as sad as it is, you're no different than a model. You are one bad photo shoot away from losing that contract. You're one bad photo shoot. You're one look away from things changing, from no longer being considered a desirable brand ambassador. One other challenging pitfall, of course, is that you have zero equity in a supplement line. Zero equity. You have zero equity in a supplement line whatsoever. When you build a network marketing business, which again, we're going to show you, you have equity inside of your own company. You control your income. Now, another opportunity for you potentially is you could retail products. You could retail products. Perhaps as a gym owner, you're already doing that. But what does retailing products come with? Small margins, inventory requirements, and here's the biggest one. Your customers are tied to the company. They're not tied to you. So if you retail me a protein powder and I like the protein powder, I don't have an incentive to come back and buy the protein powder again from you. I'm going to buy the protein powder direct from the company. Whereas with network marketing, as again, we'll show you, your customers will be tied to you for life. Now there's the third option. You can build a subscription modeled site. How many of you would agree, though, that right now there's quite a bit of market saturation when it comes to virtual training and virtual workouts? So inherently, one of the problems is if I'm a personal trainer and I normally charge $75 a session for even to train with me for an hour, but I want to create a membership site, inherently, my value per customer has to go down. Why? She's not going to pay me $75 an hour to have access to a monthly membership site. Right? She's going to pay me a monthly subscription. And if that monthly subscription can't compete with all the other subscriptions that are out there, why is she going to stay with me? That's a big question we have to start to answer inside of this space. The other reality is this, is that lots and lots of low budget subscriptions are going to start to supersede higher budget subscriptions because the economy is shrinking. I just read an article this morning. The International Monetary Fund says we are down 0.3% That's greater than the Great Recession. We're looking at potentially a Great Depression in some ways economically. So dollar spend is going to go down. Now, if you're just at the beginning of this process, building a website, competing for space online, Facebook ads, the cost of doing business just to launch an online subscription model can be challenging. I'm not saying don't do those things. What I am saying is pay very close attention to how we can show you how to create a cash flow producing asset so you can have money coming in while you're building your online brand. I want you to hear that again. We want you to get on the right side of the quadrant, create a cash flow producing asset so that you can build your brand alongside of it and really establish yourself in the online world.
All right, so what are some of the ways that you can differentiate yourself knowing that there's such a significant amount of market saturation right now? One of the things you can do is you can align with a system so that you can truly guarantee the results that your clients are going to get. You can also establish an online wellness store, which is adding massive value to your clientele because they can then go into their online store and have a simplified wellness solution, allowing them to simplify their decision-making process, to streamline any level of education that they feel they need to have in order to make a meaningful shift in terms of their daily choices. And you provide a platform, you can provide a platform for your clients to do that in the simplest way possible, taking any sort of overthinking, any kind of doubt, any sort of need for expertise out of the picture, and allow the client to be plugged into something that is so, in so many ways, done for you where they can succeed.
Now, remember one of the things we talked about early on, one of the things you talked about, it was how can I impact the most amount of people? I want to serve people. I want to create a reach beyond the building is one of the things that we know that personal trainers and gym owners and wellness professionals struggle with is how can I get beyond the building? How can I create an impact beyond just the people that come to see me, especially right now? What we're going to show you how to do is it's going to allow you to not just help your current customers maintain their wellness, maintain their health, maintain their fitness goals, but we're going to show you how to be in a position to earn an income and create profit centers from people who would have never walked into your building in the first place. I want you to imagine for a moment that you get Eden started on our wellness system as your training client. Okay, I want you to imagine this for a second as a training client. Eden gets started. She gets the exact same results that she got, 12 pounds, 25 inches, 2 dress sizes. She puts up a post on Facebook about how amazing she's feeling, how she loves the immune supporting properties of our products, which we're going to talk about. She loves how she feels when she cleanses. She loves that she knows she's taking care of herself. She puts a picture up on Facebook. Her friend Emma, who lives in Spain, goes, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You look amazing. I want to feel like you're feeling. I want to look like you're looking." And what Eden's going to say is, "Well, I'm working with a virtual trainer online." And Emma's going to say, "Well, I'm working with a trainer online too, but I don't have results like that." No, you don't understand. My trainer has access to a secret weapon, a wellness system that has simplified everything for me. I feel amazing. And now all of a sudden, Emma gets started because of Eden's referral. And you're now creating a profit center through Eden's network, something that otherwise you would have never had access to. Type in the comments below. Do you see how just that one scenario can help you to not just increase the nutrition wellness income that now you're creating, but also potentially in attracting another virtual wellness client from a training perspective? We're showing you a dual income stream off of your current existing influence and brand.
All right, so let's talk about who we are as a company, as a culture. Isagenix set out 18 years ago with a mission, with a vision to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process create the most trusted and well-respected health and wellness company in the world. And this company was started by 2 individuals, Jim and Kathy Coover, and our co-founder, John Anderson, who's the original master formulator, who we'll talk about in a little bit. But let's talk about the Coover family. This is a privately held, family-owned business that is, if you think about it, like a mom and pop company that does almost $1 billion in sales a year and has done over $7 billion cumulatively over the last 18 years. So Jim Coover was a bodybuilding competitor in his younger days. He's been an entrepreneur his entire life. In fact, he was one of the founding members of one of the very first mail order fitness programs in the 80s. And he was responsible for taking that company to $1 billion inside of 27 months, which was unprecedented at the time. And then Kathy Coover has also lots of experience inside of this space. She was on the field side. Kathy Coover built 3 different network marketing businesses to becoming the #1 income earner in those companies. And each time had her check cut due to corporate greed, mismanagement of funds, and compliance issues. And so Jim and Kathy were retired completely with over 40 years combined experience in the industry before starting network marketing. And they decided to come out of retirement to start Isagenix with a mission to be the company that does it right, that always does it right by the field, where we have a motto that if it's not right for the associate, it's not right for the company. And we live that thoroughly all the way through. And then Eric, their son, he's a young, early 30s. Now he's a C-suite level executive. He started out building in the field during college, and then he went on to wear every different hat you can imagine inside of the company before now becoming the chief visionary officer. He is a Harvard MBA graduate, and he absolutely is carrying the vision and the legacy of this company moving forward.
Just for those of you guys that have had an experience with the Coovers, just type one word to describe the Coovers.
And for those of you who are aware of energy and consciousness, and that's your vibe, and you're into personal development and, you know, living an aligned life, like, these people exemplify that. These people live that higher level of consciousness and frequency in every area of their whole life. And there's a saying in leadership by John Maxwell that the roots bear the fruits. And the fruits of this company are a direct reflection of the roots of this company, which are the Coovers.
And these are real people, everybody. These are personal friends of ours. Those photos that were taken where Jim was wearing the red blazer, we were in their home that night that it was taken. We had dinner with them in Australia. I had dinner with them in Australia the night that photo of them on the water was taken. These are good friends of ours. So this isn't some rinky-dink little company. This isn't some flash in the plan. This isn't some fly-by-night deal. We've been here for 18 years. We're operating in 14 international markets. For those of you that are watching this call from Europe, wow. We are brand new to Europe. Over $3.2 billion has been paid out in commissions. So that's people making an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $50,000 a month. Again, that all depends on a number of different things. We don't make any financial guarantees whatsoever. It's like the gym. You don't lift the weight, you don't build the muscle. Really simple, okay? We really believe in contribution. That's a really big deal for us. Over the years, we've donated over $30 million in monetary donations and different products backed by science. So when you're getting started inside of network marketing, significant amounts of costs and overhead come down completely. One of the things that we know that is a challenge inside of any business, of course, but especially in the fitness business, is attrition. How do you retain your customers? How do you keep them engaged? How do you support them from a community perspective? How do you make sure that they're staying on plan? How do you do all of those things without you having to be all things to all people? Well, Isagenix integrates done-for-you services at no cost to you whatsoever. So your customers have access to a call center with hundreds of customer service agents ready to handle any questions that they may have. All the digital marketing is done for you, meaning once you enroll a customer into Isagenix, they're going to get ongoing digital marketing done for you by the company to talk about what products to consider, to talk about what's coming in their next order. They also have access to the IsaLife app. It's totally complimentary to us as associates and to your customers as well. Think about it as a competitive fitness and health tracking app. And then there's the IsaBody Challenge, an incredible retention tool. It's a 16-week complimentary challenge, right? Where it's just to help hold people accountable. By the time your customers are done doing this, what does Isagenix do? It gives them $200 in free product coupons just for completing the challenge. And they're also entered to win a global grand prize of $50,000. So these are massive multiple $million invested into these services to help you manage attrition and increase retention. How many of you are a little bit excited about those things?
All right, let's talk about the ethos of the company. We have no compromise products, and this was established 18 years ago when Jim and Kathy decided to come out of retirement to do this. And John Anderson, our original formulator, came out of retirement to build this company together. They knew that moving forward for the next 100+ years that Isagenix would be in business, that we will have no compromise products that are science-backed, that go through rigorous testing, that are responsibly and ethically sourced, that have our body's highest value in mind, that also protects our environment, and that no matter what, whatever it takes, we will never look at the cost of we'll never look at the cost of what something is going to take to get the highest quality of ingredients packed inside of it, so that the end result to our customer can allow our customers to become the healthiest people, that they have the healthiest results that they possibly can. Now, John Anderson, just to give you a little bit of background on him as a master formulator, prior to Isagenix, he was retired completely. He had formulated for 2,500 different products in over 600 different companies over the course of a 30-year career. Just to put that in perspective, most formulators only ever, at the most, formulate 6 different products over the course of his career, and he created over 2,500. A lot of the products that you grew up on through GNC and some of the other supplement stores were John Anderson's formulations. But the reason he retired was because he was sick of putting together these really high quality formulations and having companies cut them with artificial ingredients, soy, and synthetics for just to look at their bottom line and not really care about the end customer's results. And that was when he retired completely. So when he created Isagenix as a way to really heal and rebalance his own body after his own health challenges, he realized, based on the results that he got physically, that he had come across something, that he had developed something that the people of the world really deserve to have access to. We have been doing intermittent fasting and cleansing as a company, and we've been incorporating adaptogens into our products for 18 years, long before they were ever trendy buzzwords. So what we put in is just as important as what we leave out. All of our products are gluten-free, low glycemic. We have nothing artificial. We're soy-free. We're vegan-friendly. Our whey protein is undenatured, grass-fed, 100% grass-fed only. Our bone broth is made from grass-fed, grass-finished cows. The highest quality ingredients, no expense spared. What we'd love to do next is bring on our friend and partner, Dr. Eric, who is an internal medicine physician. He's also an IFBB pro. He's a 6-figure income with Isagenix. Is Eric unmuted?
Yep.
Okay. And Eric's going to go over some of the science of our products and why he, as a physician, decided to align with Isagenix.
Hey guys, thank you so much. So when I came out of med school or medical training in 2008, despite very little nutritional training, for some reason, my ego told me that I knew everything. And then I entered the bodybuilding world in 2015 and thought it completely made sense to me. I was given a list of macros to hit and some supplements, and I thought this was easy and it made complete sense to me. When I was introduced to Isagenix, though, I thought it was nonsense because it was different than what I had been told for years. But I soon began to realize that I didn't know what I didn't know, and I was open to learning more. So the first thing I had to realize was that our world is evolving, and one place where we are not evolving very well is our nutrition. So in an ideal world, our whole food would be enough. But the reality is in 2020, our traditional food supply is completely nutritional bankrupt. And we have lots of studies to demonstrate this. There's some facts here, but lots of studies demonstrating the fact that our food no longer is nutritious. So the basic needs of everybody, regardless of what they're trying to do, whether they're trying to gain weight, lose weight, become an athlete, to get on stage, they're all the same. There's 3 really core goals that we have, and that's to be nourished, we need to recover, and we need to detoxify our system. So I'm going to go over some of the core products that we utilize. So again, here are the 3 pillars of that we're trying to reach, regardless of what your goals are. So we focus on nutritional density. within Isagenix. So whereas before I was looking at macronutrients, I was missing a big portion of the reason why people are struggling, why my patients are struggling, why our clients were struggling. It was the fact that we were focusing on micronutrients when in fact the nutritional density is the utmost importance. So we utilize meal replacements, we utilize shakes, we have studies to demonstrate the efficacy compared to traditional foods, but it's nearly impossible to replace the level of nutritional density that we have in our meals in the kitchen with whole food. It just is nearly impossible. The other aspect that we're going to talk about is adapting. So if anyone's talking to anyone about performance, about results, about gains, about recovery, and they're not talking about adaptogens, they're doing a great disservice. And I didn't know about adaptogens before, but what they are is they're basically they're whole body regulators. They help the body to adapt to any stress and help combat stress. These are plant-based substances. They're absolutely amazing. But again, these are essential for anyone who has any type of goal that involves performance or results in any capacity. And the last, I think Eden touched on a little bit, is nutritional cleansing. So the third thing we need to do is somehow detoxify this system. So we use the science and principles of intermittent fasting along with a product called Cleanse for Life, which is an aloe-based, high antioxidant, nutrient-dense beverage that amplifies our body's natural ability to detoxify. And we have studies to document the benefits of this, of intermittent fasting. Again, this has been talked about, this has been performed for hundreds of years in certain cultures, but it's just caught the media attention in the world over the last few years. So the core products are our shakes, our vitamins, which are I call nutritional insurance, our adaptogen products, and our cleanse products. So it fulfills all three of the pillars that people are trying to, and in terms of getting results. And what I love most about this is that it truly is a complete, simple system. So food has gotten super complicated for years. I contribute to that. I look back and I did a disservice of people. I made it more complicated. But this truly is a complete whole food nutritional cleansing system. Again, that's simple to use and that provides not only amazing results, but simplicity for any type of body. So it's truly been an absolute gift. Thank you, Zach and Eden. Back to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thanks,
much, Eric.
brother. That was great. I always love when people that are way more jacked and way more intelligent than me from a medical perspective come on and validate our system. But you know, for a long time, there was all these amazing results happening inside of Isagenix. And finally it was, well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and let's get some clinical studies done. This was a clinical study done by the University of Illinois, Chicago. And here's the most important thing that you can look at on your screen, as you guys know as fitness professionals. Twice as much visceral fat loss. Now, this is not about weight loss, as you know. This is about removing the toxic fat that we have so much trouble removing. And why do we have a hard time removing it? Because like Eric alluded to, our food is nutritionally deplete. And so we can't have our body firing the ways it was designed to fire. So that's what this demonstrated. Twice as much visceral fat loss compared to the heart healthy diet.
And this study was done on postmenopausal women because Isagenix said, let's go find the portion of the population that has traditionally had the hardest time creating these results. Let's put them on Isagenix and let's put Isagenix to the test.
Now watch this. An independent researcher was so impressed with these original studies that he decided, Dr. Paul Arciero, he decided to do his own extended 12-week study using the Isagenix system and look at the results. 33% increase in total PCBs released stored from fat. For those of you guys that don't know what PCBs are, it's a toxin from plastics that was initially thought to be impossible to remove from our body system. But then he said, okay, 12 weeks is great, but what if we extend it even further? Is this sustainable? Is this really a lifestyle system? A 52-week study compared to the heart healthy diet. The Isagenix group maintained weight loss and continued to lose body fat and abdominal fat. We maintained improved cardiovascular health markers. Why were they able to stay compliant? Because the system takes the guesswork out of wellness.
So we'd love for you to hear from some of your peers in the fitness space. Forgive my slides. Okay. All right. We're going to bring out in just a moment some of our partners. Arnaud is a personal training studio owner in Belgium. Shannon is a former personal trainer and a six-figure earner. And Michael, six-figure earner with Isagenix, a 20-year gym owner. He's also he's a chairman of a bodybuilding federation, a huge bodybuilding federation in Europe. And he's been with us for a couple of years. So let's kick it off with Arnaud. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, hi guys. My name's Arnaud. Nice to meet you. Okay, I thought it was Shannon first, but okay, no problem. So my name's Arnaud. I have my own gym back in Belgium. Right now we have 3 PTs actually, but right now in Corona times, we don't have any job, like most of you guys that do personal training. So what is really interesting about the whole company is that actually 2 years ago they came, Zach and Eden came to my gym 2 years ago when I had a small little gym. I mean, I grew really fast. In 3 years. I have three personal trainers now. But they came to me and they said, you know, Arnaud, let's do this wellness system. And I was like, what, these Americans, what are they doing here? You know, please leave my gym and get out of here. And I don't want this system. I don't believe in this system. Just leave, you know. And 2 years later, my wife is a competitive bodybuilder. So she was going to do, how do we say this, a competition. And then actually she was doing it on broccoli and rice. And then actually she was tired of it all the time. So she went to her coach, and her coach actually is Michael Bukart, who is on the call as well. And he said, you know, try something different, try shakes. And I was like, come on, baby, you're not going to try the shakes. This is bullshit. Just get it out of your nutrition and you will see that you will make it too. And she says, no, baby, come on, let me try something different. So I said to her, okay, let's do it. So she did it. And I must be honest, the results were amazing. And obviously I love her. So I believe in her. So I followed her as well. So I followed her in the whole Isagenix story. And I must be honest, we've helped so many customers also with weight loss and all the things. But the best thing of all is right now, I mean, my gym is closed, everything is closed. And I realized if I would have started earlier, if I would have started 2 years ago when they came, because it just started in Belgium, like this is crazy. It just started in Belgium and I was skeptical, my mind was closed. So my bad, because I think if I would have started then, I think my life would be completely different, because the people I've met, the opportunities I've had, the mindset that has changed, the confidence that I have right now is impeccable. Knowing that I come from a background of drugs and alcohol in the past, a long time ago, I recovered from everything and I really worked on my mindset. I worked on my body. I worked on my nutrition. But this was for me a next level change in mindset, body, and nutrition. And if I really want to be honest with you guys, if you want to be the most happiest version of yourself and the best version of yourself, for me, it's really easy. It goes to mindset, body, and nutrition. And Isagenix is a great train to accomplish this goal. It's a great track to use to become that best version of yourself. And at the same time, gain some money. Because like Zach told us, when you go to a store and you buy some protein, and we sell it in our gym, it's ridiculous because we sell it for 20 euros more. And then the client says, thank you, and I'm gonna buy it one time, but the next time I'm gonna buy it online because it's cheaper. But I like you, so I buy it once from you, but next time I buy it online. So our protein business is down. So this is also why it's really interesting for you. So guys, don't be me. Don't be me 2 years ago says like, no, I'm not ready for this. Just do it. And I promise you one thing, it will change your life. Thank you so much for listening to me. My name's Arnaud, I'm from Belgium, and thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Arnaud. And Shannon is coming up next. Shannon, former personal trainer out of Vegas. She is also the beautiful wife of Dr. Eric, who you just heard from. Shannon, you are unmuted.
Thank you. I'm not quite sure how you follow that. I mean, that was amazing. So I'm Shannon Miller. I'm a retired personal trainer and a former traditional business owner. Prior to Isagenix, Eric owned a medical weight loss practice out here in Vegas. And I was doing all of the lifestyle fitness. I would do the meal plans and meal prepping, right down to, because it was concierge, I was going into homes, I would go through their cabinets. I took people grocery shopping. Essentially, I was dissecting people's lives. That's what I did for a living. And 3.5 years ago, I realized that we were hitting a wall. We were hitting a wall in our business. We could only go so far in our reach and impact. And we were also hitting a wall with our clients. They were exhausted. The results were slow, even though they were doing all the right things, right? And they were living a rigid lifestyle, and they didn't want that. They weren't looking to be competitors. They just wanted to have a healthy lifestyle. And so 3.5 years ago, we met Zach and Eden, and they introduced us to Isagenix. And to say that I was apprehensive is probably an understatement. I thought, as a trainer, Whole Foods, watch what you put in your body, track it, macros, these things are ridiculous. This doesn't work. I'm not going to live like this. I also realized that we had a massive gap. I didn't feel good. My clients didn't feel good. There was something missing, and we were all exhausted. Checked the quality with Isagenix, and we were willing to give it a shot. 2 days in, my energy level skyrocketed, and I was obsessed. And I just started sharing it with our clients, our friends, our family, and it was like watching the light bulb turn on. Their bodies came to life. The things that they wanted to have happen were happening, and it was easy. It was simplified. They weren't living on this rigid lifestyle. And so in the past 3.5 years, we've been really blessed. I've been very blessed to impact thousands of lives. I've created a 6-figure income from home. I'm home with my boys, my 2 kids, every single day. There's been months in my business that I've out-earned my physician husband, and that is something that I never dreamed possible. It was somebody that's a PT, high school diploma. I never went to college. I didn't think that that was possible, but with Isagenix, it's, created so much for our lives. I'm beyond grateful.
Thank you, Shannon, for your story. Arnaud, you are amazing dynamite. So hi, everyone. I am Michael Bockart from Belgium. I am 44 years old. I studied physical education, sport nutrition science here at the University of Ghent. And I'm a gym owner already for 20 years. So the reason why I personally said yes to Isagenix is because a lot of my customers, a lot of my athletes stopped in my coaching section because of the meal prepping. So now with our scientifically proven systems, they have faster and even more important, they have remaining results, especially like Eric told, because of our intermittent nutritional cleansing system, the detox system. Also for sure, business-wise, for me, it's a huge difference. So before Isagenix, I was working really long hours, like 100 hours a week as a gym owner, no free time, close to burnout. So I started with network marketing in Belgium in April 2018. So that's like 2 years from now with no previous network marketing experience at all. I was a rookie, I didn't know anything. Like Zach told me, ignorance and fire is better than knowledge on ice. So now after 2 years, I have more than 4,000 members in my team. So if I would compare that to my gym, it means that I would subscribe every month like 300 new fitness customers month after month. But as you know, with a traditional business, it doesn't work like that. With network marketing, you really see the leverage and a compound effect. I earn now more in 1 month with network marketing, doing this only like 2 years, more than as a gym owner who took me like 20 years. And again, as Jacques told, as a gym owner, you have a lot of overhead costs, like higher location, employees, pay for insurance, etc. So now with this business, I have more free time, more time to travel. Last year, I did 5 international trips, all paid by the company, 5-star resorts. So guys, as a result, I'm really excited to build a huge international team and to set as many people as possible physically and financially free. Thank you.
Am I good? Okay. Michael, thank you so much. And Arnaud and Shannon, thank you
And
so
Eric,
much.
thank you guys. Can you guys show all of them some love for stepping up and sharing their incredible stories? These are just everyday people just like you who are willing to make a shift.
All right, so one of the challenges in traditional business, and I'm sure you've seen this in your own, is that if you want to increase the amount of money that you make, you've got to give up some of your free time. And if you feel like that you want to have more free time, then you've got to let go of some of the income that you're making. That's the challenge with traditional business, is that you're always on a seesaw with this time-money exchange.
Now, remember earlier we talked about creating leverage on that right side of the quadrant, right? So now let's just say you look at this and you say, it's not for me. I just want to keep working as a personal trainer, doing my own thing, trying to do it on my own. That's fine. Right now, we know you're going to put in a lot of extra work, probably 12 hours a day. So here's how that looks if you want to go the lone wolf route. Some of you are already very, very intimately familiar with the pain of this. 12 hours a day, 365 days a year, the most amount of productivity you can get paid on is 4,380 hours of productivity. That's it. That's where you are capped. However, imagine you grow your customer base inside of Isagenix to about 2,000 people, which you just heard some numbers beforehand, which really isn't that crazy when you're willing to follow a proven simple system, which we're going to teach you step by step how to do, and understanding that you already have influence. Now you have 20% of your customer base saying, hey, I'd love to get my products for free. I'd love to make some extra money. Now we're going to ask them to work just 1 hour a day. Fairly reasonable. Wouldn't you agree to ask your team to work 1 hour a day? Sure. Now you're getting paid on the productivity of 400 hours a day, or 146,000 hours of productivity a year. Working as a lone wolf, doing it by yourself with no leverage whatsoever, it would take you 33.3 years to get paid on that same level of productivity. Okay, so network marketing, not a rinky-dink little industry, $193 billion industry. Some of the things we talked about earlier, high overhead as a gym owner, high overhead for Facebook ads, things of that nature. With network marketing, with Isagenix, all you pay for is the cost of your own consumption. You literally eat your overhead. Built-in mentorship. Like I said, the person that invited you here, if you're partnered with us, we're going to be alongside of you step by step to teach you how to do this. You have the ability to earn residual income. This isn't a one-time hit. This is getting paid over and over and over again for the work you do one time, as well as creating leveraged income when teaching other people how to do the same thing. And of course, your income is not capped in any way, shape, or form, while allowing you to help the most amount of people with proven science like Eric had alluded to.
So here are a few other success stories. Lori Harder, she's a 10-time cover model. She went from being a personal trainer to earning millions of dollars with Isagenix, and now she has grown her own global brand empowering women. Kathy Savage, she's been known as the mothership of fitness competition teams. She's been in the fitness game over 30 years. She was already earning 7 figures with her fitness business when she decided to incorporate Isagenix, and now Isagenix added another 7 figures into her household. And then Tyler and Kelly, they're former gym owners. They're in their late 30s. They do about $2 million a year, over $2 million a year in profit inside of Isagenix. And these are some longer term stories. Now, none of these guys have been in Isagenix for longer than 10 years. But some of the stories that you heard from earlier, these are people who have been in the company for about 2 years, 3 years at the very most. So I want to show you just some long-term, give you some long-term inspiration around what's possible for those of you who are committed to really leveraging your brand. And then Eric talked about that we have systems. We have systems for anybody. We have systems that are replacing meals for people. And we really like to get people started on some version of a 30-day nutritional cleansing system. This is a wellness system. This is good for anybody. This is great for athletes. This is great for people who want to lose weight, who want to gain weight, who just want to balance their body. This is great for anybody. And you're getting meals provided for you. And especially right now with some of the challenges that we face in finding whole, fresh foods because of the environment that we're in. And imagine that a lot of your clients are just grabbing carbs out of their pantries. This provides people nutrient-dense meals in system form where they are replacing what they would have been spending eating out on food, meal prepping, and so on. Our systems break down to anywhere from $10 a day to $20 a day. What you're looking at is a 30-day supply. This is just to get started. And then you would drop down to something much more basic, a la carte from there once you've hit your reset button on your bodies. And now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to draw out for you some very simple ways so that you can understand how you can become profitable as a business right away. And remember, the cost of getting started, the cost of getting your business started is really just the cost of your own products. You're eating your overhead.
So we're just going to do this really quickly. If you can bear with us for another 5 to 6 minutes, and we'll let you guys go.
Okay, now we have a 12-minute or 11-minute video that's going to show you the compensation plan. It's going to give you a 10,000-foot view. It's very thorough, so we're just going to get into a very high-level explanation. So here's you. You have a left team and a right team, and that's it. So there's no levels in this compensation plan. You are earning residually on the entirety of your network and their networks. So the way that you would start is by helping one customer get started on your left, and helping one associate get started on your left and one associate get started on your right. Just by sharing with 2 people who are getting started on the products, you right away can earn, and I'm going to use the example of the value pack, which we're going to recommend for those of you where it works within your budget. For these guys getting started on the value pack, you would earn $400 back right away, provided that they get started in the same commission week. And then the next goal is to help these 2 associates each get 2 customers started on the products. So you've gotten 2 people started who have each shared with 2 customers who have gotten started on the products. When you do this, your $400 grows to $950. Now, when you keep in mind that the cost of your pack, if you were to get started on the value pack, is $599, you already become profitable as a business. You've already profited $350 by just helping 2 get started on the products who have each shared with 2. So that's kind of a high-level overview of how this works. But here's the beauty of it. It's not just you that's helping customers get started on the products. This person is going to go ahead and share with a couple, who's going to share with a couple, and maybe this person gets a gym owner started, and the gym owner decides to take this out and do a challenge or something inside of their entire network of fitness clients. Now, all of these people who are ordering products every month, all of the products are benefiting you. You're earning income residually on all of the products that are getting ordered the first time, the second time, and forevermore. We've had customers who have been steady on the products for 7 years. And so instead of just acquiring that customer one time up front, we get a portion every single time they order products. Now, here's the beauty of the timing in this. Now, some of you are watching this webinar and you're thinking, all right, this sounds cool, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to sit in the think tank. I'm going to sit it out and I'm going to just see how it goes. Well, imagine that, let's say Susie invited you to this webinar, and Susie is maybe at the beginning of their build. You're going to sit it out, and that's okay, but Susie is going to continue, and she's probably going to get a good portion of the other people that she invited onto this webinar started today. And those people are going to start, and they're going to start sharing Isagenix inside of their network. And all is well, because you're going to decide maybe in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, who knows, you're going to say, you know what, Susie, this makes a lot of sense. I've done my research. I'm ready to get started. Even if I just get started as a customer, I want to do this. And so Susie's going to say, okay, no worries. She's going to get you enrolled, and you're going to go at the very bottom of this leg in her tree, at the very bottom of this left leg, okay? Now, that's totally fine. You still have as much of an opportunity as everybody else. However, had you said today, all right, I'm just ready to go, you would have been in the position to benefit from every single person that got started after you. That's the beauty of the timing of this. This is a collaborative business model. We work as a team. It's not just a matter of the people that you know and the people that they know. You're also working as a part of a team, and you get to benefit from the overall team's production.
Yep, awesome. So here's what I'd recommend. You're fitness professionals. At the end of the day, you're going to have to be in love with these products before you're willing to put your name on them. So at the very least, lock in a spot and get started on the products. Worst case scenario, you don't love the products, no worries, send them back, 30-day money back guarantee. Just to put it out there though, we have less than a 1% return rate globally. Less than a 1% return rate globally, okay? So I'd highly recommend, if you're open to it, Just get on the products, lock a spot in the tree, get back with the person who invited you here. Okay, here's how we're gonna wrap up. I've been in sales a long time. I could come up with something really fancy to anchor you emotionally right now, and quite frankly, to have you really excited to want to take out your credit card and get started. I'm not going to do that. Get back with the person that invited you. Do whatever research you feel like you're required to do so you can make an educated and intelligent decision about partnering with a company that's already been proven in its ability to help people just like you go from where they are to where they deserve to be. Because the one thing I do know is even when we come out on the other side of this, how are you going to insulate your income the next time another recession comes? Because the reality is that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. How are you going to insulate yourself? How are you going to help your customers? How are you going to take care of your family? But most importantly, going back to the reason that you started in the game, how are you going to create an environment of serving people while creating freedom for yourselves as well? Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to all of our guest speakers. We really appreciate you. Get back with the person that invited you and keep coming back and checking us out. We're not going anywhere but up.